What's going on, guys? I'm like on a roll or something. Another live hangout. We had a couple people last live hangout. Like I say, when I do this, I'm not expecting anyone to actually watch live. So I'm doing it just to post a video, and I'm lazy. So that's pretty much how it actually is working out. Um, But I do have another massive haul. So that's always a good thing. Sorry, I'm getting my windows open, so please see if you can hear me talking. All right, there we go. There we go. All right. So my comic book shop, now that I have everything set, I can focus. Uh my comic book shop had a sale. They do it once a month for Saturday and Sunday. I talked about in the feed in the live chat last time that I was going to it. So they have a shop, but they also have a warehouse. It used to be their old shop. This is actually like way larger than the current shop they have now. I mean, they only sell new stuff, so every week they have a couple back issue bins, but it's only stuff from like a couple weeks prior, and then they move everything to this warehouse, and they only do the warehouse once a month. But what happens is all the back issues are $1, um, or you can do 25 books for $20, and then they sell like action figures, statues, and stuff, and they're all like 25-40% off. So I picked up 2 action figures, and I picked up 76 comics. So needless to say, I have quite a bit of stuff to show off. I also want to say, like, salute. I noticed, and I'm wondering if I don't know, maybe it's like from doing the live chat last time, but I picked up like a couple subscribers. So, and I know I don't post I haven't been posting content that much. So, I'm gonna try to post more. But hello to like new subscribers if they watch this. So as always, I'll start with the action figures. There's no sorry, Dr. Monkey Bot. When you watch this, I don't have any normal books. I didn't buy any normal books. I've been uh, I've been reading my books for school like crazy right now. Um, I'm just trying to finish up, still trying to finish up this final paper that I need to hand in either tonight or tomorrow. Uh, Interesting enough, that paper I'm working on is for, I'm actually taking a course called Comics and Cartoons, and it's about there's part one, part two. I'm in part one right now. It's like a third year English course. The Uncanny Kyle. Oh, hello. I didn't know. I was like, oh, I never know if the live chat updates. So yeah, I was like I said, I have the haul. I was just explaining that I should be finishing this paper that's actually on comic books. So I'm taking this third year English course, comics and cartoons. Part one focuses on about 1870, 1890, all the way to 1940. So basically, like scholars that argue when basically like the idea we have now of comics is created all the way to like basically the beginning of World War II, and a little in further from that. So I'm writing a paper that has to do with gender roles in comic books that had to deal with patriotism, like American patriotism. So that, yeah, I should be doing that. Yes, hello, New Zealand. Awesome. I actually know quite a few people that visited New Zealand and said it was beautiful. I'd like to go sometime. And see, this is the problem. I just like talking with people, so then I get sidetracked what I'm supposed to be doing. It's okay though. Keep talking because I enjoy it. So yeah, the haul. I'm not a big action figure guy, like just because I act to me like I like sweat if I pay more than like $10 for an action figure. Like I I really like I've been trying to get my hands on one of the Jessica Jones Marvel Legends, but it's like even when that stuff comes out, like paying $30 for an action figure, I'm like, ooh. Oh yeah, it's like getting cold here. I think it's gonna snow soon. It snowed a little bit last week, but I think it's gonna snow, and I hate snow. But yeah, so it's just like action figures. Like unless I get them on the cheap, like to me, I can spend that money on like back issues or a trade or like I don't know something else. I like action figures, but I'm just not they're not at the base of my collection, so it's like kind of a treat to myself if I get one. Uh so I did get two, and so let's show something. So I picked up Miss Wyone. Miss Wyone. I never know how you say her name. I picked up for $4.99. So this is part of the Pee Wee Playhouse posables. Um, they're based off of the uh, 1987 toys, but they're like re-releases from 2006. They're like NECAs. Um, I am a massive Pee Wee Herman fan. I have been when I was a kid. I always tell people basically the story of I don't know, maybe some parents would think they're bad parents. I think they're very cool parents. Uh but I had very untraditional upbringing parents where I think Pee Wee was like one of the only kids shows that I like overly like I watched. My parents weren't really into like Disney, things like that. My mother is like a huge she's like a huge like feminist activist, and she does work with like abuse shelters and stuff. So that's like some personal background. I'm getting real personal with you guys. Yeah, Marvel back issues. That's my weakness too, Kyle. That's my weakness too. Uh and plus I find action figures take up like so much room. And that's my other issues. Like I have a lot of comics. I haven't shipped them all to Toronto yet from Newfoundland. But like I already have 3 short boxes. I've only been here since August. And like in Newfoundland, I have about 40 to 45 short boxes that I need to ship up here. So yeah, yeah, I take up a lot of room. But anyway, backstory. So I had like very my parents like at a very young age like kind of taught me to recognize like a lot of like gender issues, racial issues, and like cartoons and kid shows. And my dad, not my stepdad, but my real dad who passed, he was a massive horror movie buff. So I always tell people uh the first movie, I obviously don't really remember, but my mom has told me like, so the first movie they ever showed me as a baby was Friday the 13th. And that's probably why I love horror movies. But I like literally have been raised on horror movies. When my stepfather came in the picture when I was a little bit older, but I was about, I think like 10, maybe a little younger, a little older. I think around there though. See, he's been around so long, he's just dad to me. I don't know. But he was a big like B horror movie fan, like really cheesy. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. He always used to like rent those for me. Um, So yeah, like Pee Wee was one of the. Let's get back to it. Pee Wee was like the only kid show that I really loved, and I still really love Pee Wee Herman. If you haven't seen that Netflix special he did like last year, the year before last, watch it. It's hilarious. I think he's the man. I mean, I know he had his little complications where like he got caught like jerking off in the theater, although it was like a porn theater. I'm thinking like why else would someone go to a porn theater? I don't know. I've never been to one. Maybe am I missing out? I don't know. But yeah, so I used to have from this re-release line Pee Wee when I probably like 8-10 years ago when I used to live in Halifax in Nova Scotia, and in the many moves I've done, I lost it. So I actually don't have. I had Pee Wee. This is in the back. They show they have like Pee Wee. They have Pterodactyl, the jazz band, the genie, and Lawrence Fishburne as a cowboy. So I used to have the Pee Wee one, and I had the jazz band. All three came. And in the moves, I lost them. So I'm trying to get them again. And yeah, so $4.99. It was $4.99, and then I got 25% off of it. So I was okay with that. And then the other action figure, it was what I was most excited about. I've talked about it continuously on this channel, like whether you want to say an anti-hero, sometimes a villain, sometimes a hero. Like my all-time favorite character in the DC mythos and universe is Magog. I've pointed out a couple times, like I have like a Magog beating the shit out of Superman tattoo. I'm like a huge Magog fan. So I saw this. They had 1795 marked on it, and it's the Kingdom Come action figure of Magog. He looks badass and awesome as always. So they had 1795 on it. I ended up getting it for $10. So I was pretty excited about that. Yeah, I haven't decided if I'm gonna take it out of the package or not. I always say I'm not. I used to be one of those guys that was all about like, don't take the action figures out of the package. Like, no, not gonna do that. But room. I don't know how people have room for all these action figures in the packages. And I'm in Toronto now. Like, I'm not in a 2-floor huge apartment. I'm in a smaller apartment. Yeah, like it's so I don't know. I like it in the box because they have the background of the of like the Alex Ross villains in the background behind them. I don't know, like that looks like it's just a card. So we'll see. I'll probably take them out of the box, try to set the card up. But yeah, I was like super excited for that. And that's all I got for action figures. Yeah, Kyle. I know, like the stories I hear about people in action figures, like maybe when I have a house or something, and like if I'm ever done university. But it's like I know I like especially statues. Statues are what gets me, other than action figures, because like I know of guys that like have like storage facilities so they can store statues. Like they're literally buying statues and like not even opening them. They're like going into a storage facility, and then maybe once every couple of years they want to switch around what's in their house, and they'll take stuff out and sell off a couple. And I'm just like, man, like I couldn't imagine like having to pay for like a storage facility to store like especially statues. Like, but I know guys that do have the action figures. But to me, if I pay like statues, I mean, usually you're paying a minimum like $100. You're probably paying a couple $100 if it's a really nice statue. And I'm thinking if I'm paying a couple $100 for something that like it ain't sitting in a storage facility, it wouldn't be me. So comics, 76 comics to show off. Some of them are looking rough. I haven't even bagged or boarded these, but I was so excited. I was like, I'll do it after. Show the people. And they're not in any order. In fact, they're probably in like terrible, like they're no kind of order. So what my plan is probably just like take a stack and then because I'll have to like set them aside after I show them, and then I will show you what is going on, what is going down. Yeah. So let's take a look here. So first I grabbed like I said, these were all a little less than $1. I did the math. They were 80 cents, I believe, with the 25 for 20 deal. I'm not a math guy, but I believe when I did it, it was about 80 cents. So I've got number 59 of Astonishing X-Men. The glare is pretty good today. We should congratulate that. So love X-Men. I mean, who doesn't love Astonishing X-Men? Now, this is Whedon was off the book, so this is Lou and Walta doing the interiors, I believe. Yeah, Walta was, and Noto is doing the cover. But of course, I had to get that great North Star cover because I represent Alpha Flight. Yes, Kyle, X-Men. And I said in the last stream that I used to hate on X-Men. I didn't read X-Men for the longest time, and I just like the universe was too big. I collected so much other stuff. I was like, I can't get into X-Men. And everyone's like, you're crazy. So I think I just hated it because I didn't want to like it, because I didn't want to collect it. And then one Christmas, my wife subscribed me to Marvel Unlimited so that I didn't have to like keep pulling back issues out if I wanted to read them for my boxes. I could just read them online. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to start at number 1, and I'm going to read X-Men number 1 and go on from there. So right now I'm on about issue 200, and I love the X-Men. I've got it's in Newfoundland. I don't have it here, but I have about 2 short boxes full of X-Men. Nothing wild. I think the earliest issue I've got, I don't know what the earliest issue I have is. I have something in the 80s. Like, I think it's one of the reprints. You only need 19 issues of this. Oh, man, I am jealous of that, Kyle. I am jealous. That's amazing. That is amazing. That is my goal, is to get there someday and have it. My main objective for when I first started was I need to get the Alpha Flight stuff. So the only one I'm missing right now is let's get the number wrong. What is it, like 10, somewhere between, I always say like 108, but I feel it's not. It's like 106 or 7 or 9. One of those between like 6 and 9, but it's like that first appearance of Vindicator. I need that one, and surprisingly, I don't have the first full appearance of Alpha Flight. But I mean, if you watch my videos, it's because I'm cheap, and then I'm always trying to eBay it because I never see it in person, and I don't want to pay a crazy price for it. I've got 2 copies of 120. And the only reason I have 2 copies is because I came across both of them for $5 at separate times, and they're like really good condition. And I was like, yes, I will take that. 109, yeah, I think so too. Oh, and you're rereading Alpha Flight? Yes, I've got Alpha Flight Volume 1's done. I have pretty much volume 2 and 3 done. Like I might be missing one out of each. I have pretty much all of Alpha Flight done. I also have I collect in trades. I collect the Marvel, like the books that say classic. I really like them because like the paper's low budget. I just think they're kind of cool. But I've got volume 1 and 2 of the Alpha Flight Classic. So I like to pull those out. I've reread them a couple times. I love Alpha Flight. Oh, nice, nice. Yeah, like so. The good thing I liked about Alpha Flight Run is I never paid more than 50 cents for any book in that run. That like I finished volume 1 like maybe 2 years ago. But yeah, I just like those books I always pulled out of like 25 cent, 50 cent bins. And I think the most I paid was maybe like $1.50 or $2. That just an issue I couldn't find. So I was like, cool, I'll buy it for $2. I'm all right with that. I'm doing a terrible job, eh? This is what I'm talking about. I get it talking, and so then I picked up issue 21 of Titans. I'm a big Teen Titans fan. So whenever I see Titans for cheap, I'm a big fan. I actually dropped the new books just to make some financial room for other comics I was interested in. Like I always focus on my main stuff. So like Captain America and my Hulks and Hulk books and like She-Hulk and stuff. Superman, Action Comics, Green Lantern. I get all those books. So Teen Titans is kind of like a newer last couple of years thing for me that I've been interested in. I picked up a copy. I don't know what haul video it would be in, but I picked up a copy of that like first unofficial appearance of them in Brave and the Bold, like the one with Kid Flash and Robin and is it Aqualad that's on that cover? I think. Uh, but it had like a rip right here, like a chunk out of it, but I paid $30 for it, and I was like, yeah, I'm cool with that. So yeah, but I really liked this cover. Great Cyborg and Donna Troy cover, and Starfire in the back there. So whenever I see Titans cheap, I pick up Titans. What else we got here? Oh look, it'll look like these two were in order. Superman number 79. Um, this is from volume 2, Dan Jurgens run. I have a lot of Superman. I suckered in and bought like the graphic boxes of the new 52 they put out, as well as the newer ones of the Superman number 1. But like as the graphic. I own 2 of the Superman number 1s boxes. Jesus, I think I have, I don't know, somewhere between 5 and 8 of the new 52 ones. They're all full. And I need to get more, but I collect Superman Action Hard. Just one I was missing from volume 2. So for $1, I will pick that up. And then Superman number 86, still on Jurgens. And the cover is Jurgens and Robenstein. We got the great Superman mullet going on, one of my favorite times. And no, I still haven't gone. I'm going to go see Justice League. No one asked this question. I'm just saying I haven't seen Justice League yet. I still haven't seen Thor. School's been crazy. So it's always like pulling teeth trying to get my wife to come with me to the superhero movies. Just aren't really her thing. It's rare she likes them. She really likes Guardians of the Galaxy because she loves the music, and you know that everyone knows like that's a very different kind. It's like offbeat and funny. Trying to think what else she enjoyed like a couple others, but we used to go when I was in Newfoundland. We used to go with like 20 of us, all like friends and couples and stuff. But it's hard to get her to go now. Plus, like, she's in the middle of doing her master's. She's very busy. So what I've been doing, I did it with War of the Planet of the Apes and Spider-Man. Like, I'll just go on a day on the weekend or something. I buy tickets for both movies, and I just do a double header because I'm about that life. So that's what I plan on doing. Is just I go to the movies regularly enough. I have a lot of free movies like on my Cineplex card. So yeah, so I like whenever I want to go by myself, I don't really end up paying for it. Perfect, Kyle. I don't. Someone else is with me. Everyone I run into is like, "Hey, have you seen that movie yet?" And I'm like, "No, I haven't." So I'm sitting here holding this book. I already showed it. So yeah, I got to go see it though. I've heard good and bad things about both of them. So I'm one of those guys, like, I'm really not fussy. I mean, I have a special place in my heart, like, for the older Fantastic Four movies. Like, your movie can be terrible. I'm always of the mind, like, as long as they're making comic book movies, I'm gonna go see it. I'm gonna buy it on Blu-ray and put it on the shelf there. Like, I'll rewatch it even if it's bad. I always love the fact that it's like I'm watching a comic book movie. Like, these didn't, no one was like, they weren't making these when I was a kid, at least not at this rate. You were watching cartoons if you wanted to see something like we're seeing now in movies. So I'm always all for it. So I'm sure I'll enjoy it. Next up, I got, like I said, I got 76 books, so I gotta set my game up here, don't I? So issue number 40, Green Lantern Corps. Um, this just an issue I'm missing out of this run. It's from Blackest Night. Um, Tomasi was writing this. Ooh, there's a little bend in the back here. Scandalous. You guys know I don't care about that, but I'll fix it. Um, Yeah, so and I mean, I haven't looked through these issues yet, but I've read Blackest Night. Who doesn't like Blackest Night? But I'll probably reread this issue. I reread most of these issues as I pick them up. It's Tomasi. He's like one of my favorite current writers. So of course, I will reread it. Some more tea, a couple more tea. Look, I look like I got some Teen Titans all lined up. So I picked up issue number 12, Teen Titans Spotlight of Wonder Girl. I love Wonder. I love Teen Titans. I love all the characters. So super excited about this. Yeah, I haven't read this at all, so I tell you what it's about, but I don't know. I don't know what it's about, but excited to have it. I'm sure, well, it's about Wonder Girl, but I don't know what it's really about. Then another Teen Titan Spotlight, number 13, Cyborg. I love this cover. What a like tribute to like real Bronze Age horror covers, like that. Her face, um, her face, the gun, the hand in the gun. I am so for that. Who did the cover? Hannigan and Giordano. Yeah, Giordano. And it looks like Hannigan did. Sorry, I was just really interested. No, I guess they must have done it together. I'm sure one of them did colors, one of them drew it. But what a great cover. What a great cover. That's Bronze Age are like some of my favorite calibers, especially horror stuff. And I love stuff that's kind of a tribute to that. So then we have the new Teen Titans issue number 28. And this is, I think it's the first, I don't know if it's the first appearance of Tara, because I thought I had that. I thought it was issue 27. So I'm wondering if this is the first cover appearance or if she was at the end of issue 27. Maybe this is the first appearance. But yeah, great, great cover. You can never complain about some great Teen Titans covers. And then Tales of the New Teen Titans, number 3, starring the Changeling. So I love that. I love that cover. So I'm all about that cover. Yeah. See there, I'm all about the covers. I'm so speechless. Then look, some more Astonishing X-Men, issue number 44 from the Regenesis. This is when Pac was on it writing, and who doesn't want a cover of Storm and Cyclops? He's my favorite X-Men, Cyclops. Cyclops doing the hanky panky kissing. I'm all about that. Then I picked up issue number 1 of 6 of Black Lightning. If you follow my channel, you know I'm like very like I collect a lot of like black superheroes. Like in school I study like Black Canadian studies. I'm very interested. I've never read any Black Lightning. So I thought I would give this first issue a try. I know they have the rest. I'll pick up the rest if they have them. And I know he has like a show. I don't know if it's out yet or it's coming. And yeah, and I'll probably check that out. I watch all the TV shows too. I'm not caught up, but I watch them. Yeah, you're right, Kyle. That is a really great X cover. I picked up issue number 2 of Green Lantern Lost Army. I'm not going to read this because I don't have issue 1. I missed out on this mini series because during this time in the New 52, I was pulling almost all the other Lantern books. Was I? Yes, I was. And I was pulling a lot of books. When this came out, I think my pull list was around like 70. It was between like 65 and 70 books a month is what I was pulling. So miniseries were not really, unless it was from Image, they weren't really getting on my list. So I'm going to pick up, I don't think those issues are hard to find. So I'll pick them up and then I'll finally read it. I picked up Jenkins' run, number 2 of the Inhumans. I love Black Bolt, another one of my favorite characters. I have issue number 1 of the Marvel Knights series of this. Yeah, I don't think I've read it though. I usually wait to get a couple issues before I read them. I'm just gonna point out, I think that cover is terrible. I mean, I don't hate anyone that likes that cover, but I don't know. I'm not really feeling that that cover, that artwork. So this I'll show it off because I picked it up for a friend for Christmas, and I was like, "Hey, you have this issue? If not, I got it for you for Christmas." And he was like, "Yeah, I already have it." So now like I gotta find someone that I know that needs this because I already have a copy of it. But Bloodshot number 7. So this is the first appearance of Ninjak in costume. I had the sale. They had like 40 copies of this all lined up. It was hilarious because they had so much Valiant, none that were really keys, but all the 90s Valiant, and it was just like random issues, but they had like 50 copies of it. The joys of the Valiant speculation heydays. So yeah, I picked that up. I just got to find the right person for it. This is probably what I was most looking. These are all kind of in order. Well, I'm going to put them in order. But I was really, really excited to find these because so I am a huge Jessica Jones fan. I'm still hunting for her first appearance at a price I'm comfortable with. I remember a while ago, I had said $50, and then the hype, and then I was like, maybe 60, and then Defenders came, and I saw that sucker was not really going for under 80 to 100. So I'm trying to decide if I'm gonna pull the trigger on it. I love Jessica Jones. I'm reading the new series. I love the new series. I've read this volume 1 in trade. I don't have volume 2. I need to buy it. I bought volume 3 by accident. But whenever I see these books on eBay, like even the random books, they're really expensive. Like people always want like $10 an issue. And that is Alias. So the original series. I own the first modern appearance of Purple Man, he was in this book 20 something. So I picked up issue number 7, issue number 8. I love these covers. I really love Alias covers. Issue number 10. So for $1, I was like all on this. Number 11, number 12, number 13, and then a huge jump to number 27. So I'm going to say issue 24 is his first appearance, perhaps 23. Yeah, so because 20, it depends on Purple Part 4 if that started. So yeah, because it would be 23. If this is Part 4, it would be no, it'd be 24. Look, I just woke up a little while ago. Math is not my thing. It'd be 24, because 24 would be issue number 1. Yes. So I think it's 24. But yeah, so I was really excited to get that. I'm as Matt would say. What else we got here? All right. Superman. It's more Superman. So issue 487 of the Adventures of Superman. This is a run that I pretty much have most of. I'm just picking up random issues. And 'tis the season, right? 'Tis the season. Ordway. I don't know. I don't really feel like making you watch me open this. But Ordway, I know, did a lot of his own covers as well. And I love Ordway covers. It kind of looks like Ordway, so perhaps it is. He usually signs it, but this cover is busy. So Lord knows if there's a signature. But yeah, great little Christmas cover to get in the season. Then what do we have? What do we have here? Look, I'll do all these before I do this because it would make more sense. So that with Valiant, I read Valiant in trade. It's one of the series I specifically pick up in trade. Also, the only thing I collect singles for Valiant is I'm trying to get like all the key books, just because I enjoy Valiant, and I don't want to collect all the runs, just because it's really hefty. So I just pick up the keys, just for my own personal fun, I guess. But I broke my rule, and I decided, I was like, you know what? My two favorite characters are Bloodshot and Shadow Man. And they had so much Shadow Man and Bloodshot. I was like, you know what? I'm actually going to pick up the old issues they have. So I picked up Bloodshot number 5, Bloodshot number 8. Love that cover. Bloodshot number 9. Bloodshot number 10. You hear that noise? It's just my cat getting into. I bought a new TV, so my cat getting into the box. And then I got Shadow Man number 12 and Shadow Man number 13. That's a great cover. I love the cover with the mask. She's really in that box. And I gotta grab another stack. And I was trying to see what I'll show these first. It would make more sense to show these first. So these are Valiant Heroes from Acclaim. I believe the reason I hadn't read this series yet. I believe the reason the series came out was because PlayStation 1 or 2, they made a Shadow Man game. So I believe that is why this series came out from Acclaim Comics. So I picked up issue number 3 of Shadow Man. The artwork's all right in it. I really like the covers, though. The covers really remind me of it was a monthly book. Garth Ennis wrote it. I could have read that on the cover. She's really loud. She's like really in that box. But yeah, Garth Ennis wrote this series. I love those covers. You know what they remind me of? They remind me of like early. I was just say mid, but I say yeah, early mid '90s like horror, like kind of that Candyman vibe. This whole series has that Candyman, The Crow, like that kind of vibe to the covers. So I got issue number 3, and I think no, Wood only did the art for these. Issue number 4, kind of like that. Like I don't even know how to describe it. I want to describe it without sounding creepy, but I always look at it. It's like kind of like this like gritty, like almost like BDSM horror. Like I feel like it really gets influence from like Hellraiser and Clive Barker and stuff like that. But like gorgeous covers. And then this one, Adlard switched to the art. I mean, the art looks pretty much the same. So issue number 5, issue number 6, issue number 7, and issue number 8. And that is what I got from Valiant. So now we will grab some more comics, and we're working the pile. Lord knows how long this video is. Lord knows, because it doesn't tell me the time. I don't think it sure does not. All right, so this is not in any order either. But so I grabbed The Decade of Dark Horse, issue 3 of 4. It was a mini series. It had a bunch of the stories in it, but this has a great wrap. It's hard to see with the glare, sorry, but great wrap around aliens cover. Yeah, I'm a huge Aliens Predator guy, so I will buy anything with aliens or Predator. Dark Horse Comics number 4. Great little Predator cover there. Probably not my favorite, but of course. And then who doesn't love an 80s classic? Dark Horse Comics number 2. Great RoboCop cover. I could not leave the RoboCop cover there for $1. And now these were probably like some of the coolest pickups I got, because I did not know this existed from Now Comics. And I'm taking it that was just kind of like an 80s, 90s. I'm not familiar with them company. But apparently I haven't even opened these yet. I'm excited. One of my favorite movies as a child that I guess was considered a child movie, which is another thing maybe I'll do a video about that, is I was talking with my wife about that I love 80s and 90s, like early 90s kids movies, because you watch them now and you're like, man, these are adult as shit. Like they were dark and scary. We were watching what we were watching the other day, the Peanut Butter Solution. I had never seen it. It's like a Canadian film. There's like people from like Degrassi Junior High in it, and that movie's like scary as shit. Like that would scare any normal kid. It was just like creepy, low budget shot. So anyway, the story's going to that. This movie I really loved. I always thought it was really heavy for kids. I still love it. I watched this movie just the other day, and that's Little Monsters. It had Fred. I don't know if anyone's seen this. It had Fred Savage and Howie Mandel as the monsters, and they were like punk rock monsters that like kidnapped and scared kids and stuff. This was like one of the bad guys. So this is one of three. So it was a mini series, I guess. But I'm thinking it got extended because then I found issue 2 with Howie Mandel and Fred Savage on the cover, and this now says 2 of 6. So they obviously changed it because that one came out in January, this came out in February. But yeah, great like movie covers. I was just seeing what sweet, like, you know what one of my favorite things other than reading the comics is the ads on the back and in the comic. Like, who doesn't like an ad for Tiger Entertainment? In fact, I owned Simon's Quest. When is this? 1988. I was born in 1987. So I don't know if I would have bought these or if they would have been my brother's, but I own Double Dragon as well. So I just yeah, I love seeing the old ads like that. I think they're funny. What do we got here? We have some more DC. So picked up some Green Lantern Corps 209. 220, and 221. So just issues that I'm missing out of my Green Lantern Corps run. So I was excited to get those. And then this was exciting to get. So Red She-Hulk 62. This is during Marvel Now. Yeah, Marvel, the original Marvel Now. I love the cover. I actually really liked the covers. They were weird art. They kind of remind me of like Reboot or something, the TV show. But when I got back into collecting, I don't know how long that would have been, like 6 years ago now. Because I used to collect when I was a kid. I collect Aliens and Predators stuff when I was a kid. I didn't do superhero comics, and then I got into superhero comics when I got into collecting again about 6 years ago. And I had jumped on Red She-Hulk like really. I think like the issue after this book. So like I was missing a lot of the issues. So filling those holes in as we go. Issue 311 of the Avengers. The Avengers is one of those series that if I see it cheap, I pick it up. I have a pretty nice run. I think my oldest Avenger book's in the 20 range. Like I've got like, I don't know, like 25 or 23 or like something like that. I've lucked out that I got some sweet Matt Mills on here. Well, I don't know. He's on Matt Mills on YouTube. Gretzky, am I right, Matt? I know you'll watch this video. So you can put in the comments your YouTubes. I'm terrible at remembering YouTubes. I know him as Max. I talked to him on Facebook. But he sold me a bunch of like lower grade, cheap Avengers. So I lucked out that I got them cheap. So when I find them cheap, I'll pick them up for the run. Superman. Some more Superman. I was trying to see if I had more Superman in this pile and I put them together, but I don't think. So issue 93. This is part of the 0 Hour event. We still got the mullet. We got Jurgens on it still. So issue 93, just filling in the holes. We're going to jump to volume 1, issue 684. This is the Parasite cover. I loved when they did these, like, the villain covers. I should say villain. Well, yeah, most of them were villains. This has, like, water damage on it. You can see in the thing. What year did this come out? Was this like when that guy in Florida was eating people's faces? Do you think? I don't know what year this is because I can't really find anything with a date. 2009. I'm getting old when all the years run in. Guys, was people eating? Were people doing bath salts and eating people's faces? I ask because there's a random ad for Above the Influence. This is what's the worst that could happen, and it's slugs eating salt. And that to me is hilarious. I don't know why. It's kind of morbid, but I think it's pretty funny. What do we have? I can kind of put these in a little bit more order now, I think. I believe. Yeah, so let's stay with DC. So I picked up Titans number 12 from Rebirth. I don't know what the deal with this issue is. I dropped off Titans, I think at like 10 or something. I can't remember. But I pick these up when they're cheap, so I have no problems. Actually, hold on a second. Do I? No, I don't. I thought maybe I had this issue. Nope, I don't. So pick that up, and then I picked up number 8 of Animal Man. I love Animal Man. A friend of mine let me borrow his trades a couple years ago, so I read a good chunk, pretty much all of Morrison's stuff, or at least a good chunk. I think I read up to like volume like 5 or 6. I have most of the Animal Man run. This was just an issue I was missing. So number 8. This is the first appearance of this guy as Mirror Master, and I can't remember his name. It's been a long time. So we will get into some Marvel. Picked up some Captain America. So issue 42, the Brubaker run. Great cover there with my boy, my favorite Cap villain, Armin Zola. He's like my all-time favorite Cap villain. Issue 2. This is another. I don't think this was. I think this was after, I believe. But Cap number 2, still Brubaker writing. Then I picked up some annuals. I always find annuals are those things that, like, whenever I see them in the shop, they're never really on sale. And I never really want to pay like $3 for them. So I picked up Captain America annual number 2, the Terminus Factor. This was part 1. So we've got Iron Man rocking out on the cover. This is part 3. This was part of the Von Strucker Gambit number 10 annual. And this was part of the Citizen Kane part 1, number 11, Captain America annual. It had some discolorment on the back. I was all right with that. Then what did I pick up next? Let me show off these. So I picked up, this is one I was always interested in. I remember for a while it was like a big collector's item. It was the first appearance of this guy, like in comics, in like comic format. So I found an issue for $1, thought I'd read it. Who doesn't love Jim Starlin? So Dread Star issue number 1. I'll give it a read, see if I like it, and if I like it, I'll pick up the rest of it. I'm a big sci-fi guy too, so I can get into that. Then I also love I love a lot of things, don't I? I also love Planet of the Apes. So I found these for $1. Issue number 1 of the photo cover. It looks like, I'd say the year I'm guessing this is, and yeah, that's definitely Tim Burton's one. So yeah, love that. And issue number 2 of this is a photo cover as well. I don't think these are the same series, but yeah, these got to be the same series. So yeah, I thought that was pretty sweet. We're getting there, guys. You're hanging in. This is it. This is it. This is the end of the pile. Oh, look, another drug slug, another drug slug cover. So this is probably gonna be a lot of Predator and stuff. So just issues I was missing. Predator, issue number 0, Race War. If you don't read Alien or Predator, you'll know they've tried to do bigger runs like Alien. See, it's been so long since I've read them. Like I said, I didn't collect them since I was a kid. Until now, I've rebought everything. I think it was Alien. It was like the Colonel Marines one. I don't know if that was Alien versus Predator or just Aliens, but I think that one went quite a few. Like I think that went into the 20s. But it's a very big tradition with Dark Horse and Predator and Alien that they make these self-contained books that they were always mini-series. They were never ongoing. They still do that. So I really like that because you get a story. You can pick up a Predator book, and as long as you basically know what Predator and Alien is from the movies, you can pick up any series and just start reading it because they're always contained like that. So Predator Race War number 0. A Dark Horse presents issue number 43. I picked this up because it has a aliens story in it, as you can see on the cover. Then I picked up these. It was a 2-part miniseries when the movie came out. Predator 2, like great movie, like the movie covers. And there's issue number 2. Predator 2 has a great spot in my heart. Picked up issue 4. I probably could put this somewhere else in the full series, but it was there, and I needed to meet the quota to get 25 books for $20. So I was trying to get in 75 books. So issue 4 of Tarzan versus Predator at the Earth's core. I'll find the other ones cheap so I can read it. Issue number 2 of 2. I don't have issue number 1, but I see it all the time, so I'll grab it. Predator versus Magnus Robot Hunter, and this does have the trading cards in it. So I was excited to see that. And I don't know what the deal. Did anyone read this? Like I was too young when this came out. Like, so what's this for? It looks like the trading cards, but it's just another, maybe the protect, like not make it bend. I don't know. Anyway, I picked that up. I picked up Predator number 2. This is from the original Predator series. I have number 1. I have it here with me. I have it in a hard case. I love this too because on the back, Mobius did the art for it. It looks The Abyss, great movie, but comic they're previewing. And what do we got here? We have another series, Predator Big Game. So this is issue 2 of 4, I believe. Yes, 2 of 4. I'm missing issue 1. Issue 3 of 4. And issue 4 of 4. And what do we have next? Oh, issue 4 of Race War. So I have issue 0 and 4. I just need the other 3. I picked up issue number 1 of Predator versus Judge Dredd. I am the law. I've read the newer one, the Predator versus Alien versus Judge Dredd, so I thought it'd be cool to read like the older one. So I was all for that. We're getting there. We're almost at the end. Predator Cold War, issue number 2. So I don't know much about this, but it's looking like, I would assume by the name and by the Russian soldier, Predator takes a trip to Russia. So that's issue 2. This is issue 3 and issue 4. I don't know how long this went. I don't think it says 4 of, but I would assume this is possibly the last one because they usually only go 4 issues. That's kind of their thing. And how do I want to do this? I say let's do it. So I love Magog. I have almost his whole series. Just one I was missing that I got for $1 that they originally tried to sell for $3.65, which I'm not feeling. So number 11, great Magog killing Flash there. Picked up Supergirl number 4 from New 52. I don't pull Supergirl anymore. I was pulling for Rebirth and I dropped it, but I picked them up when I see them cheap because I am trying to do the whole super universe. Picked this up. I thought this was really cool. Part 2 of 4 of Black Panther, Panther's Prey, but this is like a square bound issue. I think when I looked it up, it said it was like a Treasury edition. So this is from 1991. So I'm pretty excited to read this. I think this is pretty badass. I'm getting pumped for the movie. Picked up some Thunderbolts because I love me Thunderbolts. Picked up issue 133 from the Dark Reign story arc going on at Marvel. I have most of the Thunderbolts now from the Dark Reign issues. Great covers as well. And then from the Heroic Age story arc, issue 145, great Man-Thing. You don't see Man-Thing that often, so love to see that. I love Thunderbolts. I'm working on finishing that up. Last book, issue number 37 of Supergirl. And this is where they did like the alternate, so like the Parasite. So this is Superwoman took over this series. And just remember, I think that's it. And the best way to close this out is to tell you not to do bath salts because it could be bad. I won't end it like that, but just remember that. But that's all my books. That's my haul. You just looked at me show off 76 books and some action figures. I feel like I've probably been talking for like an hour, but I've enjoyed it. Kyle, thank you for tuning in. I know other people popped in. If you watch the rest of this, thank you for watching. I'm really enjoying the live stream, so I'm almost thinking about promoting more. I've just been jumping on, but I might promote them more to some people so we can have a good old convo. Also, get at me if you're ever in any of you guys that have channels that actively are on or want to be. Get at me. I think it'd be fun just to get on. We could Google Hangout. All of us could video chat, live stream it, and talk the jive, talk some comics. So as always, thank you for listening to me for this long. It has been a blast as always. I will be back. Trust me. Salut.